This video was brought to you by Stormberg, a better route planner, MisterGreen, Kempower and Marcus Bil. Yo, what's up? In this video we're going to talk about plug-in hybrids. So I came over a case here, or an article that I want to share with you guys and comment about it. But before we start, a little quiz. Which car are we sitting in right now? Okay, well anyway, okay, let me show you here. It's motor. Yes, it's just a case in motor about plug-in hybrids. Is weird, how to say, weird parking. Is that how Volvo people park? You're supposed to park the other way around, but it's probably just for the, yeah, it's just thumbnail. Yeah, so yeah, so the whole case is that okay, sorry, by the way, this is the article is originally in Norwegian. I can refresh and you will see that, oh, okay, whatever, you'll see that it's in Norwegian, and then they use Google Translate, so excuse my French. I was about to say, oh, what the, ah, shit, okay, there we go. But okay, so the case here is that plug-in hybrids, they are rented out without what they say here. So what it means is that these rent-out companies, there are three companies they talk about. It's Hertz, it's Budget, and Avis. When you pick up the rental car, supposedly there is no, the battery is dead, DED on the plug-in hybrids. And they say, okay, Moto, yeah, by the way, so Moto, they have some, what is that, Øyvind, okay, good job, Øyvind, because he's probably, yeah, he's a journalist, but I'm not a journalist, I'm just a bastard, and he actually did the journalist work to contact people and ask these companies, but I'm not gonna bother. I will just show you guys this and give you guys my input. So you see that none of these companies that I mentioned, Hertz, and they don't have any routines for dealing with cars with electricity. And also, yeah, the customers, I guess, fortunately, they don't have to return the car with full battery or close to full battery. But I mean, that kind of makes no sense, because these plug-in hybrids, I don't know about this Volvo, but I have experienced them, that normally they have roughly 10 to 20 kilowatt-hour batteries, and they can usually go only around 50. I don't know. I don't know if they can go 100 kilometers yet, but around about 50 kilometers range. So which means that if you are able to charge at home when you rent the car, and you then return the car somewhere, the battery might already be at 50% or 25% anyway. So for me, I would say don't bother. I mean, you should maybe charge up the car before you return it, but yeah. Actually, for the user, let's pretend that this is the guy renting it, right? He has no incentive to charge up the car before he returns it, because I mean, yes, you're supposed to return the car with full tank, but I guess you can't simply just fill it up and then drive 500 meters to return the car. So the tank, they must have some kind of margin, so that as long as the tank is almost full, then it's fine. But that also means that you might as well, you don't get any bonus by returning the car with 100% tank rather than 98% fuel, right? Because then you could actually charge up the car and run it on electricity all the way to the delivery point. And then ideally, it would actually be better if you can also charge up over there. But okay, let's just keep it. So anyway, yeah, the thing is that, okay, this is, I start reading this about like, what? I need to make a video and tell you guys about this. So Budget and Avis say that they only deliver the plug-in hybrid with the Shuko cable. You know, they don't have Type 2. Well, okay, some come with Type 2, but some, yes. Okay, this is, I don't know, skip this one. Yeah, there was a guy here, the guy who rents. He said that he claims that he can drive 90% of the time on pure electric and so on. So you know, it's actually good that we try to use the plug-in hybrid part of it. My question actually to the guy who rents it is, if you can drive 90% emission free and obviously you can charge at home, why didn't you go for a EV in the first place? Because then you've been driving 90% of the time on, you know, pure electric. And then what about those few times when you have to use the fossil? Did you actually have to drive more than 300, 400, 500 kilometers? Because nowadays cars, pure electric cars, they can actually go quite far. And even if you can drive further than that, you can just top up on a fast charger, right? But okay, anyway, okay, this is it, okay. But okay, I'm just Hertz okay, here is the thing that you know, it's like Hertz lack of environmental. According to Hertz, they say that they don't supply. Wait, where did I read again? I don't recognize it all because it's sorry for the unstructured part. Yeah, but here, Hertz say that they don't supply the they don't supply the Type 2 cable. They claim that yeah, exactly. The Shuko can hardly be used in public charging. I can tell you guys that in Norway, you know, this is the one. This is like a box. I think traditionally this is for the engine heater, right? For like in Finland you see this everywhere, in Lapland. But this is Shuko only. But nowadays we have more and more Type 2. So in Norway, or especially around Oslo, you won't see many Shuko public charging spots anymore. It's more and more Type 2. So what I reacted on was the so the problem is that they only have the Shuko charging. I don't know, actually they have one here, you know, reserved here, but they say that here Hertz charging hybrids are not delivered with proper charging cable. They talk about Type 2 only with the, and the reason is that these cables can easily be damaged or stolen, he says. Wait a minute, dude. Actually, I just happened to own one of these. I used to own one of these Mennekes 4 meter. If you watch some of my videos from Millennium Falcon's time, I bought it in 2013, and I think I kept it until 2021 or something. So I kept it for freaking 7 years. It's been all over Europe, to North Cape, to Italy. Well, actually not Italy, but at least Germany. So the Type 2 is freaking indestructible, man. How can he say that it can easily be damaged? Does he know what he's talking about? And then stolen. When you are plugged in, the car locks the cable. I have not heard about people stealing Type 2 cables. And also these Type 2 cables, if you look online, it costs roughly 2,000 NOK. It's a tiny investment. If they cost 10,000 NOK, I wouldn't understand it. 2,000 NOK for Type 2. It's a no-brainer. You know, they have lots of charging hybrids, and they say that charging routines it will require huge investment in charging boxes and personnel to handle logistics associated with charging. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I get this one. Huge investment, really. These charging boxes, they are not that expensive, and you know, if you already have something like this, you can just replace it by something like this, and you can still offer 10 or 16 amp. So it's not really a huge investment. It is an investment, but remember, this type of solution here is more future-proof, because one day Hertz might rent out more and more pure electric cars, and then they already have the infrastructure, right? How about that? But it's like, no, they're not going to invest now. It's they just want to invest one day when they are forced to move to electric. Yeah, in a couple of years when we can only sell new pure electric cars in Norway, for example. So that whole investment part, I'm not buying it. But then the logistics associated with what do they mean? The logistic associated with charging? No, the personnel, yeah, personnel to handle it. What, Wait, is it like the Neo swap station? You have to have a guy over here. He'll be standing here. He'll be, oh, thank you for returning the Hertz rental. Now I'm going to plug in for you because you don't know how to do it. To me, it sounds like freaking bullshit, man. You don't need any person or personnel to handle all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, but what else is it? Consume. Okay, here you can read it yourself. Yeah, this is, oh man, this is the Cherry. Okay, so I guess their motor, the journalists ask Hertz, or is it Hertz? I think we're still talking about Hertz. Why they didn't bring, why they don't supply the Type 2? They say that charging hybrids cannot fast charge with a Mode 3 charging cable. Okay, the Mode 3 charging cable is for AC charging, and up to 22 kilowatt technically, but fast charge, I think it mixes the term here. Fast charging for most people nowadays, so it's DC, at least 50 kilowatt or more, which means that the Mode 3 here, we're talking about AC. This is not fast charging. So And yes, so it's kind of true what he says, because the hybrids, they can actually not fast charge. Well, actually, some cars can. For example, Mercedes and the Mitsubishi Outlander. But I think what it means is that they can't charge that fast. Onboard chargers on plug-in hybrids are usually 3.7 to 7.4 kilowatt. And then this one, no, this is straight out wrong. Most public chargers or public charging stations have fixed cable. That is complete wrong. Most charging cable, most public charging stations in Oslo at least, and actually throughout Europe, they have, you have to bring your own cable, either type 1 or type 2. So, except for maybe Tesla destination charger, but that's not most chargers. And then here, the models have the possibility, yeah. I think this one they are probably talking about maybe the Mitsubishi Outlander, which is actually quite common. So yes, I think that one has 22 kilowatt. But for example, Mercedes, I think charges even faster. I haven't bothered testing it. I think some of the Mercedes plug-in hybrids can go 50 kilowatt, which is kind of crazy. We should have a little race against Leaf or something. But okay, and then this is also straight out wrong. I mean, yes, back in the days it was true, so that it was minute price. But Fortum, okay, well, I mean, Recharge, I double-checked yesterday. Recharge and Mer, the two largest charge point operators in Norway, they have kilowatt-hour price on AC charging. So, and this is also incorrect per kilowatt. No, it's kilowatt hour. Kilowatt is power. Okay, just please learn that, Mr. Øyvind. Yes, if you want to write something about the electric cars and you want people to take you seriously, you better get all the units right. If there's someone I want to bitch about, those authors, I try to fight the whole kilowatt hour mistake that people make. But we have to actually go for the guys who write articles, and yeah. Okay, anyway, motor recharge. Yeah, this one, okay. Is an expensive extra cost for, dude, it costs 2,000 NOK. 200 euros for the Mode 3 charging cable. And guess what? Like I said, it lasts forever, the Type 2 cable. So even when the car is dead, when the fossil engine on the plug-in hybrid is DED, the cable still lives and can live another day in another car. Yeah, okay, this one I agree. Yeah, the range is so short that it becomes kind of cumbersome. Actually, it's almost impossible to return a car, a plug-in hybrid with full battery. But guess what? Electricity is so cheap, so you know what they can do? They can have a little charging box, and then you are just required to plug it in when you return it. That's it. You know, it doesn't have to be. And Hertz, they can pay for the juice because it's just a tiny battery. It depends on the price, but let's say it costs around 20 NOK to fully charge, like 2 euros to fully charge a tiny hybrid battery. And then the next guy who rents it, he or she will have full battery, and will be driving more emission-free as much as possible. Everything counts, right? Because remember that. I should also mention that the government in Norway, they have incentives for plug-in hybrids. That's why the plug-in hybrids are selling so well in Norway, because if you have a pure fossil, you will have more taxes. But plug-in hybrids, this is kind of a long story, but plug-in hybrids, they get better numbers on the VLTP test cycle because they start the test with full battery. And then you run emission-free until you eventually have to run the fossil engine. So you get lower emission numbers according to the tiny NEDC. I mean, not NEDC, but the tiny test cycle. And by getting lower emissions, you then get lower taxes. So that's why people are buying plug-in hybrids. It's like the scam, you know. It's like the scandal, the gate. The plug-in hybrid gate. So yeah, many people, they buy plug-in hybrids and then they never plug in, and this could actually be a case. What we consider the need, dude. ABC always bring cable, Type 3 cable, not Type 3, sorry, Type 2, Type 3C, that's something different. So yeah, here they say, you know, plug-in hybrids. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I don't know, man. And then, well, they have some excuses that, well, they only use the car. Yeah, they're talking about the whole ecosystem, the whole life cycle of the car. That, oh, but you know, it's a plug-in hybrid, so why don't you use the plug-in feature to cut down the emission? Well, at least their excuse is that they only have it for 12 to 18 months, and then they probably sell it, and then whoever uses it after that one, of course, they will hopefully use or they will plug it in and charge. But why don't they use it for the period they have it also? You know, it's like yeah. How they also talk about the fuel that they have to. Was that the whole? Yeah, that was the whole thing. Okay, so what do you guys think, huh? I read this. I was like, oh, there's so much wrong information, and also I get the impression that Hertz, Avis, and Budget, they have not updated the policies because, like I mentioned, for example, okay, I can understand back in the old days when you I have to explain, by the way. For example, Fortum, back in the old days when it was named Fortum, the 22 kilowatt, you have to pay 1 NOK per minute, and that means that it costs 60 NOK per minute. And if you have a plug-in hybrid with tiny battery, you don't get 22 kilowatt from it, but you pay for 22 kilowatt power, kind of, you know. So that's why it was very expensive to charge on those. But Fortum or Recharge now, they change it, so it's kilowatt hour price, because they see that people are not fighting over the AC, they're fighting over the DC and the HPC. So really, there are so many wrong assumptions here, or all the decisions made by these rental companies are just wrong or outdated, and I feel like they could have done better. They should have invested in charging stations at the pickup delivery spots, right? They should have better policies for just plugging it in. They should include the Type 2 cable, because it costs nothing compared to the whole car anyway. They could probably just write it off as expenses if it breaks, but it doesn't break really, and you can't steal that shit. And nobody steals Type 2 cables for 1,000 NOK. On Finn, I mentioned that it's 2,000 NOK, but on Finn you can buy them second hand for about 1,000 NOK or 100 euros really. So yeah, so I don't know what you guys think, huh? I just have to show you guys this, and it's like big facepalm. Yeah, I want to hear what you guys think. What should Hertz, Budget, and what was it again? And the last one, yeah. What should or in general, what should the car rental companies do? And do you guys have any good example on good car rental services or car rental companies? How do they do it? Yes. Okay. I think I'm gonna stop my rant now. So that's gonna be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later. Oh man, this car. Look, I'm gonna show you something. Look here, look here. No, wait. I'll show. Here. We have freaking electric adjustable seat in the back. And also here. There's a freaking tablet in the back. Oh, I got the executive seats in this unknown car. What car is this? It's gotta be Chinese, right? Okay, anyway, hasta la vista.